Hey guys, Sonic's here. So, like every episode, I wanted to try something new because I think experimenting and just not doing the same thing just helps you to grow in, your own special way. So, today I'm recording this without having done any footage. So, I'm going to actually be playing Minecraft later on. So, I don't even really know what's going to happen, but I want to make a bridge like connecting this little village area island to the mainland, so that way I can, if I want to expand, make a bigger house or make a farm or just kind of like do other stuff, that so I'm not limited with space. And I think bridges are cute, so why not, right? Today I want to go over imperfection, and I want to go over in the sense that imperfection arguably is the definition of perfection. You see, growing up, I've always been really self-conscious about the way I look. My smile, every little thing that you can think about. Growing up, being self-conscious about my looks, you might have done the same. I've done it. I've done it all. I've judged myself for the smallest thing. I've always compared myself to pretty much everyone I met. Watching TV. I didn't obviously meet these people, but they started to create this idea in my head of what perfection should be. Hollywood has kind of messed that up now, especially growing up. We didn't really have social media back then. We just had, the standard, whatever's playing on the TV, right? I mean, even cartoons. This wasn't really all that bad, but when it started to show like actual people, these would be quote unquote the perfect person. This kind of perfect physical appearance of tip-top shape. This person was societally endowed to be the perfect person. Now, specifically speaking, like growing up, I wasn't really the tallest. I was more on the shorter end, and it's something I'm still kind of self-conscious about. Not something I've fully gotten over, but the height thing. I've always thought I'm shorter than most people that I've been friends with or just interacted with. One thing, like oddly specific, was like not really having a defined face, because I kind of have like a rounder face. I don't really have like that defined jawline or like cheekbones that pop out of my face or anything like that. So society kind of shows that this is like the perfect European features, and I don't have them. I don't have the height. I don't have that jawline. I don't have this crazy build. Because I mean, if I am being frank, I'm Asian, so I don't have any of these things, and I just kind of been self-conscious about them. Like, oh, I should have this because it's what society deems as perfection, or it just looks physically appealing. So this is what I need, right? My imperfections were basically, causing me, psychological distress. So as I was growing up, it got worse because I moved countries, and being in the United States, it kind of affirmed to me, yeah, like this is kind of what everyone looks like. They do have these features, like these European features, the height, they have the build, they have the face. And it took the social media aspect of it to real life, and it made me compare even more and kind of highlighted my imperfections to myself. And it just wasn't easy. So another thing was, the weight thing. So like I during COVID, I think I gained over 40 pounds. I mean, it was bad. Like I ate really terrible. I didn't eat good food, nothing nutritious. for sure. It was just like all junk food and really, really easy to prepare food. I gave up exercising because I mean there was really no. Yeah, the at-home exercises are cool, but it's even going for a walk was weird because you'd have to wear a mask. So I just kept making excuses. Like there's no really justifying my behavior, right? That I gave up self-care. There was no excuse. I mean, that's what I did. I got to a point where I got into an argument with family, and they kind of pointed it out. They're like, "Hey, you got to start, taking care of yourself, because if you don't, like, you don't want to end up being in the hospital, or like, forbid something might happen to you." And I now see the value in what they were talking about, because back then I was just like, "Why are you saying all these things about me? Like, you hate me. You just want me to look like everyone else." And I didn't understand it then. And I did say a lot of hurtful things that I did, and I really regret those things. Like that I've hurt people for like I've hurt people emotionally by saying those things. I was like, yeah, like you don't care about me, etc. But now that I realize in hindsight, they were right. I mean, they were just trying to make sure that I was going to be okay. So COVID ended, and after that, I decided to really make a change. I don't know what shifted that for me, but I think that turning point was I wanted to do this not just for me, but for the other people in my life. I wanted to make the change that allowed me to foster healthier relationships with people, so I said, it's time. Let me start exercising, start walking, just do things I even enjoy. It wasn't even really a workout, like, cleaning your room, doing laundry. I mean, these things over time, they count as an exercise if you do enough of it. Sure, it's not the same as going to a gym and lifting weights, but that's a whole nother thing. Because I'm not the type of person, that loves doing that, like lifting weights, doing the same thing repetitively. I can't. It's just not my thing. So I just started going on walks, listening to podcasts while I walk. It's just something that I kind of enjoyed. And I lost weight. I finally felt lighter again. Not just weight-wise, but in my spirit. I started to get that self-confidence that I really deserve, And looking back now at when I was really heavy and when I, all the things that I had, like the weight, the height, the no facial features that the Europeans do, it really didn't, like, it really bothered me back then. But now, I think I'm doing better. I honestly feel like I'm doing a lot better now, because I realized that my imperfections, as many as I thought that, as bad as I thought they were, separated me from everybody else. My imperfections were what made me perfect. And the same for you. Your imperfections that you think that, oh, you don't look like that person, you don't look like this celebrity, is actually what makes you totally different from that person, which is okay. Your imperfections are what make you perfect. You're not supposed to look like that person, because if everybody looked the same, I mean, can you imagine the type of society we would live in? We would live in one of those, perfect cookie cutter utopian societies that it's kind of strange. Like there's something not right about those things. Whenever, especially if there's like those movies that play and it's weird. There's no diversity. So what I'm getting at is that imperfections can make everything perfect. You don't need to have the perfect height or that jawline, or if you're biologically predisposed to get certain genetics, like, who cares? I think at some point you have to value your self-worth over self-comparison. Your self-worth is more important than comparing yourself to everybody else that you meet or look at. That is what's most important. That is what makes you perfect. Now, I want to share something that I've learned in school. And yeah, when I learned this, I was like, oh my gosh, like, get over it. I don't need to know this. This is just filler work. But now that I've really thought about it, I think it's time to really share it with you, because it's something that I think is important. So this is a thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Many of you might have heard of it. But this is basically a triangle, right? And in the very bottom of the triangle, this is the most important thing that you need right away. Like, if you don't have this, you cannot live. For example, in the bottom, it's the biological and physiological needs. So like food, sleep, water, like you need this, like air. You need these things to survive. If you don't have them, you won't survive. You won't survive without water, without food. You need these things. Now, the higher you go up, it's arguably you don't need these things, but you need to achieve them to reach your full potential. So the higher you go up, let's say after your biological needs, you go up to your safety needs. So like, making sure you have a roof over your head, health, finances. These are the things that will help you survive in this 21st century. The higher you go up, you have love and belonging. So this one is, friendships, your family, connections with people. This is where you feel like you belong. So after that, you go to esteem. So this one is like self-esteem, your recognition, the respect you have, status symbol, this is all about your self-esteem, your psychological needs, right? And the last but not least, you go up is self-fulfillment needs. This is you're meeting your full potential. And this is different for every single person. Someone's self-actualization could be, finding the cure for cancer. Like that could be another person's self-actualization could be helping, start up a charity for dogs, or it doesn't matter what it is. If it meets what you truly deserve in life and exactly what you want to do in life, and you actually attain that, you will meet that very top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, I'm sorry for even a little crash course lecture there, or for those of you that didn't want to learn, but the reason why I tell you this is because everybody has their own path in this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Not everyone takes the same path. You might start off in biological, physiological, because you live from paycheck to paycheck and you need food. Some of you might already have biological and you might already have safety, and now you just are looking for friends. You're looking for that next connection. Some of you might already be meeting everything, but you need self-actualization. You have everything you have in life, but you're missing that one thing that prevents you from being happy, because you haven't met your true potential, your true goal in life. And that's something that you need to figure out on your own. But regardless of where you fall in the hierarchy of needs, take your time. Take it. Because mine, I mean, it really wasn't overnight to overcome the self-esteem part. That took a while for me to, as I said in my story, it took me probably my entire life to just get over that self-esteem portion, to realize that my imperfections were what made me perfect. This was, and to say that's cured already is, no, that's not, it hasn't been fixed yet. That's still something I'm working on every day. So, take your time. Don't rush it. It's not worth the rush. Your imperfections are what make you perfect. Please, 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 begin healing yourself. Just instead of comparing yourself. If it takes you a week, perfect. Takes you a week. If it takes you a year, use up that year. You're not on anybody else's timeline. You're on your own timeline. Everyone has their own journey. So don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your looks. I know in this day and age, it's really, really easy with social media, with the amount of, with Hollywood, with TV. It's really hard, but use this as a reminder to you that you're perfect just being you. Your authenticity is more important than that next fashion trend that everybody has, or that physical look that everyone should have. No, your authenticity is what makes you unique. What matters is that you're striving every day to become a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. Your imperfections are what make you perfect. Well, that's about it. I really hope that you enjoyed, and related to the things that I was talking about today. And I hope that the Minecraft in the background is cool too. I hope we were able to, succeed. And I'm kind of curious to see how much we've actually gotten completed. But like I said, take your time. And thank you for listening. Please have a great day and take care.